Dân số Hoa Kỳ là cơ quan quan trọng về các con số thống kê của Liên bang Hoa Kỳ, chịu trách nhiệm tất cả các khảo sát dữ liệu về số lượng cư dân và nền kinh tế phát triển tại Hoa Kỳ. Tổng giám đốc điều hành được bổ nhiệm bởi Tổng thống Hoa Kỳ và Cục Điều tra Dân số là một phần thuộc về Bộ Thương mại Hoa Kỳ. Kết quả của điều tra dân số giúp xác định hàng tỷ Mỹ Kim tài trợ liên bang được rót vào các tiểu bang và cộng đồng cư dân đa dạng chủng tộc mỗi năm. Kết quả này còn ảnh hưởng đến sự xác định có bao nhiêu chiếc ghế trong Quốc hội mỗi bang. Quy định bởi Hiến pháp Hoa Kỳ đã bắt đầu kiểm tra dân số cứ sau 10 năm theo thông lệ ban hành kể từ năm 1790. Chào đón quý vị đang theo dõi chương trình phóng sự cộng đồng của đài VIETV tại thành phố Houston, bang Texas. Trong buổi sáng ngày hôm nay, nhóm phóng viên Ái Hiền và Như Lê hiện tại đang có mặt tại Thư viện Lịch sử Mỹ Phi của thành phố Houston, tọa lạc tại địa chỉ 1300 Victor Street, Houston. Và kính thưa quý vị, buổi sáng ngày hôm nay thì chúng tôi xin mời quý vị cùng tham dự vào buổi họp báo vận động cho Cục Kiểm kê Dân số ở trong chương trình Kiểm kê Dân số sắp đến được tổ chức vào năm sau, năm 2020. Và ngày hôm nay chúng tôi ghi nhận có rất là nhiều những chính khách đã đến đây tham dự và cùng phát biểu cảm nghĩ của mình để cho tất cả những người dân hiểu được sự quan trọng của việc kiểm kê dân số trong năm sau. Và xin mời quý vị cùng tham dự với đài VIETV. Đoàn trống của trường học và múa lân trình diễn chào đón các chính khách quan trọng có mặt tham dự trong ngày hôm nay. Chương trình được bắt đầu bởi nghi thức cầu nguyện, tuyên thệ cùng các em nhỏ. Sau đó là các diễn văn chia sẻ về sự quan trọng của việc kiểm tra dân số ở các cấp, từ địa phương, thành phố, tiểu bang và toàn liên bang Hoa Kỳ. Điều này đóng vai trò quan trọng trong việc phát triển cơ sở hạ tầng, bảo vệ quyền lợi sinh hoạt cần thiết của công dân và cả về mặt phát triển giáo dục cho các thế hệ mai sau.
So good morning. My name is Lonnie Teal, Area Manager representing the Fort Bend, Harris, Montgomery County, and Houston Census offices. I will serve as your Master of Ceremonies, and I would like to recognize the staff for the area census offices. Some of these will participate in today's ceremony, but also congratulations to all of those serving on complete count committees here in the Houston area. Any person that's on a complete count committee, will you please raise your hand? I'd like to offer a quick round of applause for these community leaders who are working tirelessly to spread the word about the coming 2020 census to help us recruit thousands of employees for the 2020 census and to optimize self-response in March and April of 2020. Thank you. Now, would all of the U.S. Census Bureau employees here raise a hand? These men and women are working tirelessly to lay the groundwork for a successful count, with Census Day April 1st, 2020 being less than 6 months away. With all that being said, I would like to introduce Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of the 18th Congressional District.
Now we know that we're going to have 8 offices in the Houston area, in the Harris County area, and as much as I think it is, I doubt it's because they like us best, more than other regions. I think that may be part of it. But the reality of it is that there was a severe undercount in 2010, and too many people that are in this community that deserve the resources from the federal government, that deserve adequate political representation, were not counted. And so this is the year to make sure that each and every person stands up and makes themselves counted. And that is why there is such an important presence in Harris County. It feels like we've been working and achieving so much over the past 6 months, bringing our communities together, a complete count committee, investing at the county. We're investing $3.6 million in this count, partnering with our mayor and the city of Houston in making sure we have the right investment. But really, it feels truly real today with a brick and mortar office that I know folks will be staffing over the course of the next 6 months so that we are ready to support folks who are out there ensuring we have a count. This could not be more vital to our region. Transportation, healthcare, education, all the needs, all the services that our community expects, they all depend on the census count. For a 1% increase in our count, we could stand to gain $5.2 million a year, $52 million over the course of 10 years for those kinds of services. Our ability to be adequately represented politically is on the line, and we know we have a large, hard-to-count community, folks who are very young or elderly, folks who've been displaced by the floods that are plaguing our region, folks who are renters, folks that are new immigrants that don't speak English. There are many, many members of these hard-to-count communities, and it is up to us, all the people in this room, our partners in the media, to make sure that they all are counted. So I couldn't be more proud. I am so excited for what we'll continue to build over the next 6 months, and I know that this will be a census to remember. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, and what an exciting day. And Judge, it's good to be with you and working again with you on another major initiative. So thank you. And Congresswoman Sheila Jackson-Lee, thank you for being present. The other representatives from Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia to Congressman Al Green, and then certainly to all of you, all of our partners on this particular endeavor. This, I started to say Houston, but quite frankly, this region will be one of the first in the state and probably in the country that's setting up an area office to deal with the census. And when you include Houston, Harris County, Fort Bend, there are a lot of people within those geographical communities. And this is the Complete Count Committee. We know how important it is. It's very important. I join with Judge Hidalgo when it comes to political representation, important. When it comes to businesses investing in communities, they will look at these numbers, very important. When it comes to transportation, education, political representation, all of those things are determined by the census. And just to put it in numerical terms, roughly for every person counted, regardless of your age, regardless of your ethnicity, your language, your religion, every single person in dollars and cents, about $1,500 per person, okay? Just to give you some sense. For every person, every child, from day 1 to 110, you know, roughly 1,500. So that is how important it is. How important it is for our area. We are highly diverse. Fort Bend, Harris County, highly diverse. Houston, the most diverse city in the United States of America. So it's important that we count everyone. And I will tell you, we take it very seriously, because when there's so much conversation throughout our country, there are a lot of people who are reluctant to fill out any form, respond to any inquiry, because they are distrustful of the government, okay? They're distrustful. And many of them have legitimate reasons to be distrusting. Because for some, they may feel as though if they respond to a questionnaire, if they provide any information, especially when we are saying it doesn't matter whether you're documented or undocumented, it's important for us to count you, they, in their minds, they may say, no, I hear what you're saying, but I just don't trust you, okay? Or I don't trust big government. And so we're not going to participate. And what that means is that we have to work with community-based organizations who have already garnered their trust. people that deal with our populations every single day in meeting their needs every day. Houston in Action, the partners that we're working with, from education to business, healthcare delivery services, all must be partners in this effort, because we have to convince people in our respective communities that filling out the census is in their best interest, regardless of the language they speak, regardless of whether or not they are an immigrant, regardless of their religion, that it is in their best interest. It will enable people like myself and others to represent them, which means we have to touch bases with them soon and often, over and over again. And so we have to convince them. So let me just say, this is a campaign, okay? It's not a campaign for a political office. It's a campaign to win them over. And we have to treat it like a campaign. And it's my hope, as we work with the Complete Count Committee, as we work with the different organizations, that as we go through this process, that there will be, and I know we've hired a consultant. I'm not trying to be the consultant. But I do hope that there will be some yard signs saying, you know, please make sure you are counted, okay? That there will be Frisbees and other things out there for our kids. Because in 2010, 5% of children 5 years and under were not counted. And so we have to use our partners, we have to use our entertainers, our sports athletes, people that people know. This literally has to be a campaign, because it's not enough to count 70% or 80%. The goal should be, we want to count 100% of the people within our geographical limits. And I personally want every single person to know, especially in the city of Houston, if you live in the city of Houston, if you live in this city of Houston, whether you are homeless, whether you're a college student, whether you are elderly, young, whether you speak English or you don't, immigrant, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what your sexual orientation may be, that if you live in this city, I happen to be your mayor, you are welcome in this city. We want you to fill out these forms, respond, in order for us to meet your every need. And do not allow, and this is one time that we simply need you to respond such that we can lift you up and provide you with the essential services that you need. When it's all said and done, let's make sure that our diverse community is included in the census. We have a lot of work to do, and it's going to require everybody in our respective communities to join forces to get it done. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Now let's win this campaign.
Thank you, Mayor Turner.
I wanted to take this post at the end to really focus on the serious moment, sober and somber moment that we're in. The members of the United States Congress represent your federal government. And this is a singular and significant act and official act of the United States of America. This is our responsibility to ensure the count of every single person in the United States. I want to thank our federal employees, and I want to thank our contractors who are engaged in this process. But really, the burden and responsibility will be on us. It is important for us to recognize that the 2020 census did not come easy. It started out with a misdirected idea to ask people about their citizenship. How delighted I am to be in the Gregory Lincoln African American Library Archives. Dr. Lawson, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Judge Hidalgo. Thank you, Congressman Green. Thank you to all of those who are responsible for it. But this is in my congressional district, and we started this with federal dollars, a $2 million grant that came from Sheila Jackson Lee and Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison. So I know what federal dollars can do. They can seed, or they can provide billions of dollars to communities who deserve them. And if it had not been for civil rights organizations to stand up, Justice Roberts joining with the other members of the court who were reasoned and rational, that provided the decision that a citizenship question was a pretext. It had nothing to do with counting people. And so we have to take this not only as a campaign, but we have to take this as a mission. And that mission involves saving the dollars that we well deserve. And I want to share it with you, some of those dollars and some of those potential undercounts that we may have. I'm delighted to have been welcomed by the lion dancers. I'm delighted to hear of the bilingual outreach of our elected officials. And that is who we are, Mr. Lee. We are a universal, mosaic, and wonderfully diverse community, but we are distinct. And so I can tell my friends and offices, you will have to craft messages and outreach to reach those who are hesitant and frightened. You must make them jolly, and you must take physical examples of what will happen. The little children that you saw here were enormously diverse. We know that the Hispanic population lives in urban areas. Those urban areas, if they're undercounted, 37 of those states have Hispanic populations. Our population, Texas, 47 and growing. Any undercount, we will lose upwards of $800 billion that goes out to states. And so I want this to be a moment of joy, but a real serious down-home moment. That there will be obstacles to our count. There will probably be wrong Russian bots that will come out to people to say, stay in, don't answer any doors, as you begin to intensify your count. African Americans have been undercounted since the 1700s. We were extensively undercounted in 2020. Our rising Asian population is very diverse. Multiple languages, and I know the Census is well aware of that. They've done an excellent job on facing all of the different languages, but it will be us to break the barriers of apprehension, but outright fear. So the census is in the Constitution. And the Constitution has taken, I hope, a higher role in your mind. That if we have nothing besides our faith, we have that little small document that guides us to do the right thing. And so I believe it is important to do the right thing and to provide the incentive to be able to continue the count and the money that is necessary. One of the things that I wanted to add in terms of the dollars that we would live, fear of exposure among those who may have an unauthorized immigrant status is what we will face. People who move from place to place, many times in poor communities, which include African Americans and others. Even rural parts of our area, we will find difficulty. One of the important points, I hope, is that we will utilize those in our communities, their vehicle of communication. That means we should be in the press of diverse communities. We should be in the paper. We should contract with every single paper that reaches out to minority communities that we can find, that will legitimately push our case forward. We should be on every medium that reaches particular populations in a very large way. And we should go to places where communities are comfortable with, whether it is places of faith, which I know you've already designed, but it also needs to be in places where communities tell us there's a whole group of people over here. They enjoy coming to this park. They enjoy coming to this venue. And finally, our best gift are the young people amongst us, including each and every one of you. I'm certainly one of those folk. But if we can make our way into their hearts and minds of the billions of dollars that will be lost, the undercount that was experienced in 2020, the lack of federal representation that then trickles down to local representation, taking away the tools from the county and the city who work every day to meet your daily needs, and to disallow those of us in the United States Congress who believes that we should not hoard federal dollars, we should ensure a fiscally responsible government, but your dollars need to come to you so that you can build up the greatness of this nation. If those dollars will not come, and there will be an undercount, if we don't call this a mission and know that it was grounded on the sweat and tears of multiple numbers of civil rights organizations who rose to the occasion and secured the decision of the United States Supreme Court that it was not legitimate to have that question. But it does not mean, as in the 2020 elections, that there will not be the kinds of intrusions, violation of security, questioning to use various technology that we will have to confront that we did not confront as much in the 2010 census. So our mission is well designated. Our goals are 100% success. Our efforts must be without stopping. And clearly, I hope that when we finish, there will be a trust in your government for at least those who represent you in the Article 1 body, the United States Congress, that the predominant numbers of those individuals sought to engage, collaborate, and make sure that the federal government does its job in the trust that you have given it, and that we will have that count that will say that Texas is a shining star and a bright light in our future, and that Houston and the county rise where no one else can see them. For Houston will be the third largest city in the nation when we be able to get all the persons counted, and you will be part of that. Thank you so very much. I look forward to talking with you directly about all of the expanse that I believe we should have with our local press, and to make sure that we get an outreach to where it should be. God bless all of you, and God bless the United States of America.
I'm Shannon Cobb Evans. I'm the 2019 chair of the Houston Association of Realtors, and I'm so honored to be here, especially in this venue today, so thank you for the invitation. HAR is the largest association in the region, just having surpassed 40,000 members this past month. So, as we help people find the best place for them to live, it's important for each person to be counted. It helps inform decisions about where transportation will be provided, services such as hospitals and schools will be built, and where businesses open. The census is foundational to our country, and that it is so much so that it is mandated, as Representative Lee said, in Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution. Realtors care deeply about the communities we work in and live in. An accurate and complete census is vital to ensuring that our residents are represented fairly in the U.S. House, and we receive the necessary funding to support our growing population. Perhaps it will get us one step closer to overtaking Chicago as the third largest city. Along with the reach of our 40,000 realtor members, we also operate HAR.com, which has more than 6 million consumers visit every month. Shows what an impact that we as an association can have on the community. HAR is committed as an association to help get the word out about the census to our members, to our clients, consumers, using every communication channel we have available. I may be the face of HAR this year, but I would also like to recognize Shad Bogany at the back of the room, one of our members who's done incredible work getting the word out to our association by education and even on the state level. So we really appreciate his efforts. We're proud to partner with Houston Area Census Office and all of our other partners and entities to make sure that Houston counts. Thank you for having us today.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, he can't be here today. He is on a congressional delegation with some of his financial services committee members assessing storm-affected areas. But if he were here, he would want me to tell you, obviously, how important the census is. When I look out into this room, I see people that I know, people that I don't know, but I know that we all represent a variety of communities, different communities of color, different sexual orientations, sexual identities. And it's imperative for all of us to disseminate this information out to each of our respective communities so that the resources that are garnered from the census go out to those communities, that everybody's represented, that everyone has a seat at the table, that everyone feels that they can trust and combat that distrust that Mayor Turner talked about with the government, that it starts in this room, it starts with each of us here. So I just want to say on behalf of Congressman Al Green that we want to make sure that everyone is counted. He said in his PSA the other day that he's counting on each of us to make sure that everyone in Houston is counted and everyone in America is counted. I also have this certificate for Rebecca and Melissa, just on behalf of our office, which I'll give to you now. But just thank each of you, and I hope that we just have a great kickoff. But it's really a kickoff, and it helps us to start a movement of making the census imperative.
Thank you very much.
I am her representative and very happy to join forces with Census. I had the fortune to work with Naleo in 2010 when we did the campaign of Hazte Contar, Hágase Contar, and our goal was to get everybody counted. And Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia wants everyone in the city of Houston and Harris County that gets counted, así que estamos muy contentos de que se hagan contar. Pudimos celebrar en el 2010, trabajamos arduamente y otros años en donde nos pudiéramos hacer contar y contar a toda nuestra gente. Así que, on behalf of Congresswoman Sylvia Garcia, gracias.
Thank you very much.
Because when I was tasked with this ACO opening from the regional office, I envisioned a few things that represent Houston. The first thing was diversity and inclusion, like my amazing partnership staff who's here. They really make me smile because they do represent what the United Nations looks like. Number two, a location that's synonymous with freedom. To most people, they consider this area Fourth Ward, but no, it's Freedmen's Town, where a lot of the bricks you see in this building were laid by former slaves. Number three, our youth, because they have a serious task at hand. But I'm so confident in today's young people, they are woke. And we have some people here today who are census ninjas, and they're only in high school. They are our trusted voices, our mobilizers, and our community activists in our most hard-to-count communities. And lastly, a homecoming. And what better way to end it with Kashmir, Thunder Soul, High School Marching Band. Made for now, not tomorrow, reinforces our mission to count everyone once, only once, and in the right place. And after seeing the energy in this room, there is no doubt that we can't turn the fourth largest city into the third. So on behalf of the Houston Partnership Team in our 8 area census offices, I'm elated to introduce Ms. Kathy Lacey, our Regional Director of the Denver-Dallas region, which spans 12 states. Ms. Lacey, can you please take the stage?
And thank you to all of our speakers today. Houston has really taken a special place in my heart, and it has a lot to do with the spirit that's here in Houston. Talk about proactive, involved, and I absolutely love the Census Ninjas. Talk about, I was at a presentation here in Houston, and a young lady came up to me. She was in high school, and she said, I want to start a club, a census club in my school. How do I do that? I says, let me tell you, we can tell you how to do that because we've already had someone who's done it. To me, that's the spirit of Houston. It is so, so amazing. This facility, our speakers, they really speak to why the census is critical here today. We are 6 months away from Census Day, April 1st, 2020. Already someone said, why are we starting this so early? In order for us to pull off, exactly, thank you, I appreciate that. In order for us to pull off something that affects every single household in this entire country, we have to start early. We have to start early. And Houston has started early with your complete count committees and your other involvement, with your wonderful PSAs that we have seen that actually originated here in Houston that are fantastic. And it speaks to what is important to Houston. You actually heard the representative talk about, and as well as the mayor and the other speakers talk about infrastructure, dollars, the power. So the power of representation for the city and county of Houston. We want to make the invisible visible. That means we need everyone to help us do that. I love the fact that you said this is a mission. This is a mission. We only do it once every 10 years. We have one opportunity to get it right. And I do consider the Constitution to have mandated and trusted the Census Bureau with this mission. Since 1790, we have been doing the census. With each census, we try to improve. Our goal is 100%. Our goal is to have some representation for every single household in the city and county of Houston. And our team here in Houston are not finished until something is checked off for each one of those housing units. This is my job every year and has been for 32 years. I take this job very seriously. I take being able to represent what's truly Houston when we turn over those numbers at the end of next year, to be accurate and to represent the incredible growth and increased diversity that is Houston. We talk about the knowledge. I am a statistician, so when we send out that questionnaire or hand deliver that questionnaire, you're looking at an investment of 10 minutes. It's 9 questions. That's it, 9 questions for you to represent what your household looks like that once every 10 years. We have an entire group of individuals, a couple of our supervisors are actually here on our regional office side of the staff. They're working on the ongoing surveys that we have that go on here in Houston. So whereas that 10-year census is the foundation for all statistics for the next 10 years, and again, only 9 questions. So it's really only a black and white photo of what the city and county look like. They're working to provide the color and the depth of that photo with all of our other surveys that we do, such as the American Community Survey. All of that information is critical for planning for the next 10 years. So if we don't get it right, that does not provide the tools that the city and county need to do their job appropriately. That means that you may not know you do need that elementary school or that hospital or those new roads. We help to provide the information for planning for the future. I absolutely love when we have children here today, because we're talking about the census, and hopefully they're going to do our statistics in the schools program. My mom was a teacher. It is the gift that keeps on giving. The kids who are here today will be our leaders for tomorrow, and they'll remember this, and they'll talk to their parents about it. Who's the most persuasive person in your household? I rest my case. The children are so, so powerful, and they are our future. Who do we want to invest in? We want to invest in our children. because we want to make sure that Houston is greater and stronger 10 years from now than what it is today, although it's rather fabulous today. And I would not be up here if I did not have an ask. As we go forth with this mission, we have a lot of people we're going to need to hire. So for the entire state, we're talking about 50,000 people we will end up hiring in order to get this job done. We need to hire people that represent their local community. We need to hire people who can speak the language and understand the culture of the person who's on the other side of the door. We need you to help us do that. When you look at the unemployment rates, they're fairly low. I need the people who don't know they want to work for it. People who are recently retired, but they're not really ready to retire. And those people who volunteer in their community, who are the trusted voice. Except I'm going to pay them for their volunteerism. So when we go forward, we need to make sure that Houston is one of the most diverse cities in the country, if not the most diverse, that we are representing that. We need your help to do that. You heard today from people who are from this area. Every household needs to take their part in this census. So, March of next year, you receive an invitation to participate in the census. Take that 10 minutes to go online and complete it. If you don't want to do that, then you can call and you can get help in 13 different languages. We'll be delighted to take your information over the phone. And last, my mother, who's 86, is going to wait to receive her paper questionnaire, and then she'll fill it out and send it back. And she will because she's afraid of me. And then you have the segment of the population, truthfully, we're most concerned about. And those will be the people who are afraid to respond, or they don't understand why this is important. This is the easiest thing you will ever do for your community. If you think it's not important, walk down the street and the school that you need is not there, it's because your elected officials didn't know about it or did not have the funding to build it. This is important to every person who is here in the city and county of Houston. We have to make sure that those who don't voluntarily respond will at least provide that information to us when we go to their door. That is our largest operation, and again, like I said, for the state of Texas, it's about 50,000 people. We need a lot of help to do this. This is not something we do to you or for you, but we must be doing it with you. And to me, Houston really does speak to that because you have been our partner from day one. So I thank you so much for being here today, and it's my pleasure to once again be in your beautiful city.
Chương trình kết thúc vào lúc 12 giờ trưa qua phần trình diễn của các em đến từ đoàn Kashmir Thunder Soul High School trong niềm vui chia sẻ với tất cả mọi người. Trong phần phỏng vấn riêng với đài VIETV, ông thị trưởng cho biết.
Yeah, this is the complete count committee. It's the census. It's about counting every single person in our community. It's important for us to know who's here for political representation, for financial support coming from the federal government. This is not about deportation. Okay, this is it's not a question of whether you're documented or undocumented. We simply need to know who's living in our city, who's living in our county, so that we can help you. And we are hoping that people will trust us to put forth that information, because in the end, it will benefit every single family. And as the mayor of the city of Houston, I am asking people to please fill out the forms when they come in March, or go online, or call and ask for assistance, but do respond to the census. Very, very important.
Thank you, Mayor Turner. May God bless you and your family.
Thank you.
And we would love to hear your voice today, especially to encourage for a young girl out there. For every single day, they try their hard to successful achievement and knowledge in the future.
Well, first of all, let me say that it is important that everyone is counted in the census, and particularly our very diverse Asian Pacific communities, and to the Vietnamese community, it is extremely important for each and every one to be counted, those from Vietnam. And so those who can help us do so are certainly the young of that community and young people all over. Get involved, get engaged. The census is fun. If you participate, you'll be making your mark and you'll be part of the mission, and you'll be ensuring that Houston becomes the third largest city in the nation. That should be a good contest for all of you. Yes, we need everyone counted in this great community and everyone counted in the surrounding Houston and Harris County and the state of Texas. Don't lose on federal dollars for education and transportation and the environment and many things that you want to do. Is provided for by federal dollars to this community. Good housing, be counted. You get counted, have other people counted. It's a mission. Participate, join us, and let's get a victory.
Just excited because what you envision today is what Houston is. It's about diversity, inclusion, and culture, and those are the things that the census embodies. And one of the things we're going to do in Houston, we're going to make sure everyone is counted so that we can turn the fourth largest city into the third.
Population growth every year is very vital fact, and is there any advice for everybody can participate in our census campaign for the next year, ma'am?
I guess the most important thing is that people need to remember that they are investing 10 minutes for the next 10 years. So people will receive an invitation to the census around mid-March. Easiest thing, they can either go online with their smartphone, whatever they have in their hand mostly, because everybody has connectivity these days. They can call, and in both of those ways, we offer support in 13 different languages. So if you think we're not going to be able to help you, we will. So 13 different languages. If you choose not to do that, then we will send a questionnaire to your home, because we want to make sure every household is represented in our count. And we are not finished until we do make sure we have something for every single household. Now, how do we do that? So if people do not choose one of those three choices, then we're basically going to hire an army to go out to each local community, and we will continue to pursue talking with people until we have every household represented, and we're not finished until we have something for every household on our address list. The thing to remember is, in those non-questions, there's nothing in there about are you a citizen. That is not in there. Basically what we're looking for is, how does your household look? So can you verify your address? Can you list all the people living and staying in this household? What's their relationship to one another? What's their race, their age, their date of birth? Are they of Hispanic origin? Is there anybody else who lives here? And a phone number in case we have a question. It's very, very simple. It's less information than a credit card application.
Kính thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là buổi họp báo đầu tiên với những sự hiện diện của các chính khách trong thành phố trong ngày hôm nay để cùng hưởng ứng trong cái chương trình thống kê dân số năm 2020. Đài VIETV Ái Hiền và Như Lê rất là cảm ơn quý vị đã dành thời gian theo dõi. Chúng tôi xin chào và hẹn gặp lại quý vị trong chương trình lần sau. Mến chúc cho quý vị có một ngày tốt lành và nhiều may mắn. Xin chào tạm biệt.